is Jeopardy!
Welcome back to this special edition of Jeopardy! On Double Jeopardy. Let's go ahead and check in on our contestants to see how they're doing halfway through this game. We've got Chris sitting at $0, Christy with a substantial lead at $5,200, and we've got Mr. Chase sitting at negative $2,200. Let's hope for some better moving forward.
I'm a fourth quarter guy, Trebek.
This constitutional concept prevents any person from being subject to the hazards of trial and possible conviction more than once for an alleged offense.
What is double jeopardy?
Double jeopardy is the correct answer. That is a fundamental right that is rooted in due process of the Fifth Amendment. Prosecutorial mistake, not prosecutorial misconduct, allows for the declaration of mistrial out of a manifest necessity.
What is not an acquittal?
That is correct. Double jeopardy only applies when there is an acquittal. In Illinois v. Somerville, the prosecutor's failure to check the indictment resulted in a manifest error, and public necessity demanded the judge's declaration of a mistrial. This type of mistrial is not an acquittal for the purposes of double jeopardy. Jury is not able to reach a verdict.
What is an acquittal?
What is not an acquittal?
That is correct. In Bluford v. Arkansas, the jury was deadlocked and unable to reach a verdict. This is not an acquittal within the meaning of double jeopardy because double jeopardy does not imply unless a final verdict is entered. A post-trial dismissal of a jury verdict occurs.
What is ejusdem generis?
What is not an acquittal?
That is correct. Post-trial dismissal of a jury's verdict does not violate double jeopardy if the defendant is retried. Further, the government cannot appeal an acquittal, but can appeal the post-trial dismissal. This is a procedural, not substantive, acquittal. Defendant voluntarily agrees to sever charges into two separate cases.
What is a defendant's waiver of double jeopardy?
That is correct. In Courier v. Virginia, the defendant agreed to a severance of the charges brought against him. This agreement to sever the charges acted as a voluntary waiver to double jeopardy. A mid-trial directed verdict based on substance, not procedure.
What is an acquittal?
Correct. An acquittal within the meaning of double jeopardy must be substantive as opposed to procedural. In Evans v. Michigan, the acquittal related to the ultimate issue of guilt or innocence, but was based on mistake. An acquittal based on mistake may not be retried without violating double jeopardy. Under this doctrine, Alabama and Georgia may both prosecute the defendant for murdering the same victim.
What is dual sovereignty?
That is correct. Heath v. Alabama illustrates that under the dual sovereignty doctrine, when a defendant's conduct violates the laws of two separate sovereigns, two separate offenses have been committed for double jeopardy purposes. Under this doctrine, both states and the federal government can prosecute a defendant where the crime violates both state and federal law.
What is dual sovereignty?
That is correct. In Gamble v. United States, this was illustrated where the federal government and the state government prosecuted an individual for possession of a firearm as a felon. Two prosecutions by different sovereigns does not implicate double jeopardy because the violation of both federal and state law constitutes two separate offenses. A jury is sworn in at trial.
What is when double jeopardy attaches?
That is correct. Jeopardy attaches when, during a jury trial, the jury is sworn in. Prosecutor presents evidence at trial.
What is hearsay?
What is when double jeopardy attaches?
That is also correct. Jeopardy attaches when the prosecutor introduces the first piece of evidence at trial. Double jeopardy does not come into play in this setting.
What is a civil trial?
That is correct. Double jeopardy is only implicated during a criminal trial and is not implicated by civil proceedings. Losing one's driver's license after a DUI conviction.
What is Christmas 1994?
What is not a punishment under double jeopardy?
That is correct. Administrative punishments do not constitute multiple punishments within the meaning of double jeopardy. Some examples of non-punishments include civil fines, forfeitures, and other administrative punishments. Defendant appeals their criminal conviction.
What is a waiver of double jeopardy?
That is correct. The defendant waives double jeopardy when they appeal their criminal conviction. In addition, the government is unable to appeal a substantive acquittal. One full, fair, constitutionally sound trial.
What is when double jeopardy ends, Trebek?
That is correct. Double jeopardy ends after one full, fair, constitutionally sound trial, including a final verdict. Only prosecuting for a lower crime merges the higher crimes into it, and they are barred in a subsequent proceeding.
What constitutes the same offense under double jeopardy?
That is correct. The same offense under double jeopardy includes a situation where a prosecutor's decision to only charge a defendant with the lesser crime merges all higher crimes into the same offense and bars subsequent prosecution. This concept prohibits the prosecution from relitigating an issue of ultimate fact in a second criminal prosecution when that issue was resolved in the defendant's favor by an acquittal at the first trial.
What is collateral estoppel?
That is correct. For example, in Ash v. Swinson, the doctrine of collateral estoppel barred the state from bringing the defendant to stand at subsequent trials to relitigate the issue of identity because it was already decided.
In summary, double jeopardy can only be implicated in a second trial for the same criminal offense. Remember the principles we've covered, and good luck with many successful prosecutions.